So before I get into today's vlog, I just kind of like wanted to explain yesterday. I had a horrible day. Like going live and talking to everybody definitely helped, and it definitely like put me in a better mood and everything. But oh my God, where to start? So you guys know that I bought D a computer for his birthday, and the computer came to us and it was broken, and I spent a day and a half on the phone with tech support, and tech support couldn't fix it. Hold on, Woo's drinking. Girl, don't stop just because I pointed it out. Go ahead and drink your water. All right. Anyways, I spent a day and a half on the phone with tech support, trying to fix it with them, trying to fix it. We couldn't, so I sent it back. I sent a message to Amazon. When I requested my refund, they said that they were going to refund me like over $500, even though I had only made one payment for $147 on this computer. And I sent them a message on customer service, and I was like, hey, if you guys absolutely insist upon giving me that much money back, can you please put it on an Amazon gift card, which they do like on the app, to spend on the app, so that I can put it towards another computer? Or if you insist on returning it to my bank, would you please like make it for the exact $147.15? Because my bank will reject it, and nobody would listen to me. Guys, when I tell you that nobody would listen to me, nobody would listen to me. I kept trying to explain to them, like, my bank will not accept returns in amounts that were not spent. They wouldn't listen to me. They were like, you just need to call your bank and find out what's going on. And I would call my bank, and my bank would say there's no pending returns from Amazon at all, let alone one for that much money. And I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with these people for hours. I'm talking from the moment that I woke up until 8:30 at night. When I got to the final boss, I said, I am not trying to insult your intelligence, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I feel as if I'm not explaining something clear enough. So I really want to break this down for you so that maybe we can come to an understanding, because I really truly feel like no matter who I talk to, this is not going to get resolved, and ultimately what's going to end up having to happen is that I'm going to have to file a dispute with my bank, and that can take up to 90 days, and I really don't want to do that. And the guy was like, okay, tell me what's up. And I broke it down as clearly as I could without insulting his intelligence. Like, if the numbers don't match up, my bank will not accept the return. They look at it as I'm scamming or I'm getting scammed. So I paid $147.15. If they see that Amazon is trying to deposit almost $600 into my bank account, they're not going to accept it, because that is not the same amount that I spent. Why would you be sending me a return amount for more money than I spent? And they will not accept it. They will, however, accept an amount in the exact amount that I spent. And you know what he said? Oh, Epps and I started laughing so hard. He literally typed out, oh. So eventually I finally got somebody to, hear me out, and not just, I felt like they were calling me a liar. I really, really did, because I was like, listen, I have been on the phone with my bank. I have a banking app where I can see pending deposits. Nothing's there. I felt like I was being called a liar, and I just kept getting shuffled. They were all repeating the same thing to me, off a script, I'm sure, and then just passing me on and passing me on and passing me on. And after that last person, I was like, listen, I'm not trying to be a bitch. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence, but I need somebody to listen to what I have to say. And we can go from there. And if you guys absolutely cannot help me, I'm just going to have to, do the dispute thing. And the guy was like, well, let's do whatever we have to do to make sure that that doesn't have to be a thing. So last night, I was so upset. I was so upset about this, because it was all that Dee had asked for his birthday was a computer. He didn't ask me for anything else. He simply asked me for a computer. And they took the computer off payment. They knocked it back like $130 and took it off payment. But after I had explained this to this guy, and someone finally listened to me, and I broke it down in a way as to not insult his intelligence, but be very, very clear about what I was trying to say. I got on live. And guys, when I tell you I was bawling all day. I didn't want to get out of bed because all I could think about was just like how disappointed Dee had to be. That's all, like that was the only upsetting thing about this, was like how disappointed Dee had to be about, like, I lent him my laptop, and he thinks that the touch screen is really cool and everything like that, but he loved that computer for like the hour he got to play with it before it crashed, and it was just cool for him to have that, it was his. And then they took his off of payment. But after I talked to somebody and they heard me out, and they, finally, like, after they heard me out, they got what was going on. I got on live for like an hour and a half. I got off, and Epps and I were looking for a movie to watch. And I just happened to check my bank account, and there was the return for the exact $147 in my bank account. So guess what I did? Headed straight to Amazon. Found a different computer. It's not the exact one. He'll be all right. That is on payment. And let me tell you something. I got by the skin of my fucking teeth, because I had $149 in this bank account. By the way, Epps and I have our own bank accounts and then a joint bank account. But in this particular bank account, I had $149, and the first payment to get it, the way that it works is you have to pay the taxes and everything on the first payment, so it's always more than the other ones are going to be. It was $147, and I had $149 in my bank account. I was like, oh my God, it was meant to be. So it is supposed to be here tomorrow, so everything got figured out. But when I tell you, I have these moments where one bad thing happens, and it's like I catastrophize, you know what I mean? That means that you like blow everything up to be way bigger than what it is, and you look at everything as if it's going to work out in the absolute worst case scenario that it possibly can. And that's me. That's me. Like, one bad thing happens and I struggle with moving past it, and I allow it to ruin the rest of my day, and then just little things piss me off and upset me. And I was just crying. I was in a bad mood like all day yesterday. And then I got on live, and it was like a switch, flipped, and I felt better after I got to talk to you guys and be distracted and laugh and all of that. So that was good. And I actually really enjoyed it. I knew that I would, but it's hard to get, when you're not in a good mood, it's hard to kind of get yourself rolling with content creation and streaming and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what happened yesterday. I was a sobbing, hysterical mess over something that I should have been able to handle, and ultimately ended up being okay. Everything ended up being okay. It's just the way that I work. Anyways, on to what we did today. So we went to the Multicultural Festival and there was quite literally nothing to do. There was barely any vendors. There was not really anything going on. I was totally and completely prepared to have to park like 2 blocks away. There was like hardly anything there. I did get some stuff and I wanted to show you, but like Epps and I got some Indian food from the restaurant truck thingy that is owned by the Indian restaurant that is quite literally up the street from our house. So, but he got a piece of pizza and a funnel cake. So the funnel cake, I suppose, is something fun. Being from a small town is wild. It's kind of funny when you think about it. But anyways, I got this. I got this and I got this. And it's one of these. And I love them very much. I decided to name this one Squish because when I look at it, I want to squish it. And this one sucks. And I don't know why, but look at its teeth. Look at its toes. When we left there, we went to Ollie's, which is like a mess of a store. Like it is a mess of a fucking store. I like it. I love it. Don't get me wrong. But as you can see, the Naked Brothers band was a thing when I was a kid. I want to say I was a teenager. I went there in 2019 and I saw that board game and I was like, holy shit, why do they have a Naked Brothers Band game? Naked Brothers Band hasn't been on Nickelodeon since the 2000s. Here I am back halfway through 2023 and they still fucking have it, and it was $5.99. And part of me kind of wishes that I would have bought it. Part of me wishes that I would have bought it. The little boy on the cover of that is in a bunch of movies. He's like super famous now. I think his name is Nat Wolff. Or is it Alex Wolff? I know both of their last names are Wolff, and those are definitely their names. It's Alex Wolff. Nat Wolff is the older one. Alex Wolff, if it tells you, did you see how little he is on that box? Alex Wolff is in the movie Hereditary. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on. The movie Hereditary. This one. Come on and load. Come on and load, you hooker. He's in this movie. Turning off my Wi-Fi so maybe the movie poster will load. Come on, he's in this movie. He's the brother. He's the one that takes the little girl to the party and she has the allergy thing and then loses her head to the pole. That's him. He's in My Friend Dahmer and a bunch of other stuff, but he's all grown up. And that show has not been on the air and probably going on 20 years, if not 20 years. I checked IMDb and it hasn't been on the air for 15 years. So there's that. There she's getting it.
Yes.
What a woo! Oh, no. She says, oh, a piece of grass. Daddy and Wooey.
Daddy ain't the woo.
Baby, my socks don't match. Whoa, my socks don't match. She says, so what? Well, I care, kinda. Sometimes. Wow, it's really noticeable. Oh,
no! It's okay, baby. It just looks like you got a brace on or something.
Oh. Boy, are you ready to walk the loop? She said no. Girl, if you sniff everything that every dog has peed, we would be outside for 10 years.
She said, this one's from 2014 right here.
She says, Dad, I have to sniff everything that could have even potentially been peed on. There's a tree there. I knew it. Is that Shirley? It is. Look at her.
Oh my God.
Shirley.
Can't come this far.
Baby, you can't come this far, honey. She's across the street yelling at us. Like, quite literally yelling at us.
We're like 3 blocks away.
Shirley, you need to go home, honey. She says, no, you need to go home. What are you doing over here? Shirley cat. Baby. Come on, let's go home. Yes, Mom. We'll go home, Mom. Okay, I'm walking in place to get steps in. I feel insane, so I'm not pointing the camera at me, but Epps is outside setting up for a movie night. And I promise you guys I will get a new intro done tonight for tomorrow's vlog because I see that my members have changed. Promise I have noticed, not forgetting anyone. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!